Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with a cartoon obsession. At the end of my last video, I told you all that I was in the process of redesigning the channel, which I did. I did a lot of things myself, but there are a few people I want to thank real quick. First, I want to thank a friend of mine who goes by the name of MelodyHatter13 in the Discord, which you can join by clicking the link in the description, by the way. I made the new text logo myself, but I did consult her for her opinions on it, so I appreciate her feedback. I'd also like to thank the heavy shoegaze and grunge band Day Aches for allowing me to use their song Fluorescent in my new intro. I'll leave a link to not only the song, but also their Bandcamp page in the description so you guys can check them out if you're interested. I'd also like to thank Lavender Milk for the new character stills. I commissioned them from her and I couldn't be happier with the way they turned out. If you're looking to commission some artwork, I'll leave her Twitter and website in the description. Finally, I'd like to thank all of the viewers and subscribers, especially the new ones I've gained in the past month. At the end of my last video, I said I wanted this channel to reach 200 subscribers by the end of 2020, and that goal was surpassed, and I'm very thankful to the new subscribers as well as the old ones who have been around for a while, of course. I hope to get many more subscribers, viewers, and channel interaction in general throughout the year. Now, on to today's topic. I figured I'd start the new year off with something I haven't really talked about before. The question I'm going to answer today is, can adults enjoy preschool cartoons? Remember, everything I'm going to say in this video is just my opinion. If you disagree with my opinion, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to leave your own opinions in the comments, but I just ask that you be respectful, please. Now let's get into it. First, I should explain what I mean by preschool cartoons. I suppose educational cartoons would be the better term since I'm not just looking at cartoons specifically targeted towards preschoolers, but younger children in general. The reason I used the word preschool instead of educational was because it seemed like an easier way to make a point. To prepare for this video, I watched episodes of many different educational cartoons, both old and new, to get a good idea of how to judge them. Naturally, I haven't watched a whole lot of educational cartoons in my adult life, but I'd be lying if I said I hadn't gone back to one or two every now and then, just to see if I could still find enjoyment in them. Then I started to think about that more and more, and then I just decided, why not make a video about it? Now, I'm sure you've all been told at one point or another that cartoons are just for kids, and for the record, I obviously, strongly disagree with that. Cartoons can be enjoyed by people of all ages. However, preschool or educational cartoons are a little different. Cartoons that are targeted towards older kids, teenagers, and even adults can teach us things, whether it's a moral lesson, new words, or just some new facts that we may not have even thought about before. The difference is that while those cartoons can still teach people information, they're not marketed as educational cartoons. Therefore, they don't force the knowledge down your throats. Cartoons that are meant to be educational, however, do just that. Not all of them, mind you, but since that's what their main purpose is, it's to be expected. Naturally, kids aren't just going to sit in front of a TV and listen to a lecture for a half hour, so these shows also have to entertain children on top of informing them. That means the creators have to come up with new and creative ways to present the information to the show's target audience. Some good examples of this are the Backyardigans, which uses music and imagination to keep the viewers engaged, and Little Einsteins, which also uses music to teach kids about art and music. And of course, there's Cyber Chase, which teaches kids math, science, and other problem-solving skills in an exciting way by watching the protagonists defend cyberspace from the evil hacker. And who could forget the Magic School Bus, where Miss Frizzle and her class take field trips to many different places in order to learn about topics like germs and the solar system. These types of shows were the ones I personally enjoyed more as a kid. However, there are some shows that just try to beat the information into you. Not only is it irritating, but I feel in some cases it makes little kids seem like they know less than they actually do. Some of the problems that characters can't figure out in these shows are very simple and painfully obvious. Take this clip from an episode of Hero Elementary, for instance.
Wait, those look like bunny balloons! Come back with those balloons, Invisigirl!
Maybe this could present a challenge to some kids, but I'd like to think that they'd be able to figure out that the decorations and everything were blown away by the wind. Dora the Explorer is another good example of this, as that show constantly goes to this kind of trope. I guess it's supposed to make the children feel smart that they've figured out the answer, but when I was younger and watched Dora, I sort of had the same reaction as Crazy Steve.
Come on, Dora! You're the one with the math! Don't ask me!
Not exactly the same, but you get my point. I'm getting off topic though. Like I said before, I'm not trying to focus on how good these cartoons are for children. I'm trying to see if they're enjoyable for adults. A question some of you may have is, why would adults go out of their way to watch these kinds of cartoons anyway? Well, the obvious reason would be if they have children of their own. When we were little kids, I'm sure everyone watched cartoons with their parents or guardian. I know I did. It's a way for a parent and child to spend time together, and of course, the children are meant to learn by watching these shows. I'm not saying they're meant to be a replacement for formal education or anything like that, but I feel like they're more so meant to reinforce what the kids may have already learned in school, or teach them something new entirely. In some cases, the parents could even learn something new, or at least something that they learned long ago and forgot about. Granted, just because a parent is watching educational cartoons with their children, it doesn't mean they're actually enjoying them. They might not even be paying attention to the show. However, I'm sure there are at least some who like the shows, at least a little bit. And then there are people like me who don't have children and just watched a bunch of these shows because I felt like it. And now you'll get my thoughts and opinions from doing so. I already mentioned the fact that I hated watching cartoons that constantly had to hold your hand throughout the episode as a kid. And as an adult, I hate them even more. So shows like Dora the Explorer and Hero Elementary didn't do much for me except irritate me. I also wound up finding some of these shows pretty boring, even ones I liked as a kid like the Backyardigans and Little Einsteins. I know I praised them for their concepts earlier, and I still think the concepts are good, but the episodes just felt like they dragged on forever. Not to mention, they featured those same tropes of we can't figure out what we're looking for even though it's right in front of us. And again, while I get the point of that, I'm still not a fan of it. I think kids deserve a little more credit than that. And of course, there are the shows that are universally hated, like Caillou and Peppa Pig. And yeah, you can imagine how I feel about those. I will say, I liked Caillou as a kid, but now I can see why so many people have said they hated it. Caillou is a bit of a brat, let's be honest. Peppa Pig, on the other hand, I never liked, so it wasn't too surprising that I didn't like it this time around either. Now you're probably wondering, Nathan, are there any of these shows that you actually still like? My answer to that question is, yes. As far as the older shows go, I still enjoyed watching episodes of Dragon Tales, Saga of a Chinese Siamese Cat, Cyber Chase, Arthur, and The Magic School Bus. None of these shows really felt like they were dumbing anything down for the viewers. Yes, they were written in ways that children could understand, but there were jokes and stories that adults could get a kick out of. Plus, I still have a little bit of nostalgia for these shows. Some other shows that I still think are serviceable as an adult are Kipper, which is a little boring, but also relaxing in a way. Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, which has some likable characters and is a harmless watch. And Maisie, which has a unique charm to it. I actually really like the art style even to this day. Also, I never noticed this as a kid, but when characters do things like open the door, they don't use stock sound effects. There's actually someone making the noises, and I thought that was a unique touch. As for some newer cartoons that I liked, Bluey is actually kind of fun, and I like the ideas and art style of Eleanor Wonders Why. The best newer children's cartoon I watched for this though was Puffin' Rock. This show looks amazing, the characters are likable, the lessons are varied, and this is one of the few children's cartoons I've watched where the narrator actually has some sort of personality.
Dog! Or should I say seagull? Oh, that's good.
Overall, what do I think? Can adults enjoy preschool cartoons? Well, there's no definitive answer. I think adults can enjoy the cartoons that don't try so hard to beat information over their heads. There are children's cartoons out there that have jokes and references that adults may get a kick out of. And I don't mean anything inappropriate because that wouldn't fly, but I mean more so referencing people or events that kids may not know about. Not only that, but some of these shows are pretty well written, well drawn, and well animated. Both older and newer shows. And obviously, I'm just scratching the surface here. I haven't watched every children's cartoon out there, that's just impossible. Out of the ones I did watch in preparation for this video though, I gave more of them a thumbs up than I did a thumbs down. So, if you're curious enough to do so, give a couple shows a try as an adult. Watch an episode or two, and really pay attention. You never know what you might like, and you really never know what you might learn. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Again, this was the first video with the new look, so please leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you all think. If you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Obsession Discord. The links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
I'm Kermit the Frog, and thank you for watching Cartoon Obsession.